Hi Aries, welcome to your November 2021 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. With that being said, if you haven't seen them yet, your 2022 videos are up and out there for purchase. I have chosen to charge for them this year, but the price is totally accessible to everybody. So you can get one for $4.99. You can get your sun, moon and rising for $12.97, or you can get the whole bundle of all 12 for $24.99. They are fully downloadable so that you can keep them forever and check in as many times as you want. Or you can, delve into them any other way that you choose. So with that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's get into what this month has in store for us. I apologize for these being so late. As you can tell, I have been working my tushy off. Your jumping card for your actions and options this month is the Ten of Swords. So the first thing that I want to say to you is, it looks like some of your plans may be on hold this month, right? So remember, the Ten of Swords is a hard no card. Now, when this card shows up as well, it can represent a bust up of some sort. So I will say this to you, consider that this may be a month where something that Aries is not necessarily known for holding themselves back, but maybe something that you have held back on, or something that you have bitten your tongue on recently, it's like you can't do it anymore. Now, the fact that you have the Ten of Swords here as well, there's so many ways that we could read this, so I'm going to go with the ones that kind of feel right for me at this moment in time. So like I said, this month, be careful, because it looks like whatever you're going to say, whatever you're going to express, it's like you're getting it out there no matter what. And what's really interesting as well is your ruling planet is now in the sign of Scorpio. So Mars is at home at Scorpio, in Scorpio, because Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, right? So yes, we have the modern ruling association to Pluto, but Mars is originally ruled by Scorpio is originally ruled by Mars, so he's at home there and does good work in that sign. But this could make you way more honest, and with Aries energy, it tends to be quite explosive, whereas Mars in Scorpio, it tends to be very focused, like a surgeon or a laser beam. So in some way, shape or form, this could be a time where you're saying something or demonstrating something, but you're being very, very forthright, and it's like you're very succinct about whatever it is that you're doing. Now, another way that you could see this as well in terms of a bust up, it could be something that comes to an end by a conscious decision, right? And then finally, because this is your actions and options or your energy sector, this might be a time where you maybe not necessarily feel like you're lacking in energy, but you are certainly more aware or being more conscious of how you use your energy or how you feel energetically at this moment in time. For your money and materials, you have the Four of Wands. So whatever challenges you have, your money's good, right? So over the course of November, finances, money and resources are great. It could be that there is some sort of new financial endeavor that opens up for you. So for some of you, this could be deciding that you're going to work from home. Maybe you're creating a new financial plan or idea of some sort. You've got this next to the Ten of Swords. So for some of you, this could literally be the release or the end of a debt. This could be you paying off something and, kind of seeing, yes, okay, you know what, that thing is done. Now that I know it's done, I can continue. And it's like, when you pay off a debt, you've got more money for everything else. So good times ahead, I would say. Now, the other thing that I want you to be aware of with this Four of Wands, it is kind of, because it's good news, right? So this is good news coming in about your finances or your resources. I just get the feeling that when it comes to money this month, it's like it could be a here and now thing. So if you're getting a cash boost or a boost to the income, make plans to do something with that money or that extra money, or put it away for a time where you're actually going to need it. The reason I say this is I get the feeling that this month your finances are just good anyway, and so it's like whatever extra money you have, don't spend it for the sake of spending it, right? This is a time to be frugal, not because you have to, but because you choose to. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is actually very nice. It's the Four of Wands. This will see you maybe, and so what I talked about earlier with the energy, not necessarily just like your physical energy, but like your auric energy, let's say, right? So that kind of looks like it might be having the challenges, but your physical energy, Four of Wands, is nice. You could do a lot worse than this. All right, when it comes to your communications and conversations in your work, you've got the Hierophant card. So you've got this next to the Four of Wands. For those of you that are hoping for new work or promotions or anything of that nature, you've got the good news for it. One of the things I will say is when it comes to the work sector this month, it looks like a lot of you are going to be gaining some new sense of responsibility. It looks like there's going to be some sort of mantle placed on your shoulders this month. And so you might find yourself kind of saying, okay, you know what? Yes, I've got this pay increase, but it comes with all of these strings attached. Not necessarily a bad thing, right? Sometimes the extra responsibility or the extra strings are actually training us for whatever else the universe has in store for us. I was talking to a friend recently, and when we were saying, like, one thing that I always say is when you look back over your life, there'll be a thread running through it. And you will find that where you end up at certain points in your life, you can look back and kind of go, yeah, you know what, this, and this was all feeding into that. And what we were talking about, my friend and I, is the way that sometimes you arrive at an event and it's, I don't really know how to put this, but the way you arrive at an event and it kind of almost feels like you understand that there are things that you have to do in order to play a certain part, but you're kind of also standing back and watching or observing the whole process. And I kind of feel like this might be something like that. So whatever strings are attached to this promotion, extra boost to the finances, etc., it's very possible that it will have caveats for now, but they will be pushing you towards something greater in the future. Now, what I will say here as well, because it's in your communication sector, you've got this right next to the Four of Wands. Some of you might be interacting with a local authority, with the government in some way, shape or form, with a legal matter or a court case matter of some kind. But this swings in your favor, right? You've got the good news card, the Four of Wands, right next to the Hierophant card. So whatever communication is coming in this month around your work, around your finances, it does swing in your favor. And maybe unexpectedly so as well. So just something to consider. And then for your love and relations, you have the Six of Cups. So for some of you, this could be healing a situation with a sibling. For others, this could be a return to a past work situation. Maybe you left a job and you think, maybe at this point in your life, you're thinking, wow, you know what? When I was at that job, I was happier than any other time in my life. Well, this would be the month to call them up. This would be the month to check in with them, because there's a chance here that kind of says you could go back to or have some correspondence with somebody that you used to work with. Another way that this could play out for you is for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term relationships, maybe you're getting back to the honeymoon period, totally possible. For some of you, your partner could say, oh, I saw your old colleague, by the way, and they were saying that a whole bunch of people have just left and they're desperate for staff. That's one way that this could show up for you. For those of you that are single, if you are connecting with someone this month, it's going to be somebody that you already know. The Six of Cups is always the past. It could be maybe even a sibling, if you have any, introduces you to somebody that maybe has got a crush on you. I do have to say, because they come up next to the Hierophant card, this might be somebody that is very sort of, not stern, but somebody that's a lot more grounded than you are. It's not your strong suit, I'm sorry to say. Honest, hardworking, forthright, vibrant, energetic, powerful, irritating, all of those wonderful things for Aries, absolutely. Grounded, I'm sorry to say, is not necessarily one of the traits that you're known for. So that's just something to consider if you're getting into something new with someone. For your first week of the month, you've got the Justice card with the 10 underneath the 10 of Swords. So this first week of the month, I really feel like there's going to be an end of a debt of some sort. Or for a select few of you, very possible because of the other cards that are coming in here, maybe you've had a decision on something. Maybe you applied for a loan and it was knocked back. Maybe you went for a job and you didn't get it. Maybe, like, you know, I kind of get this feeling that there's going to be a reversal that happens somewhere this month. So something that you've gone for, something that you wanted, maybe you applied for a grant or a loan or some sort of benefit money that, you know, you thought you wanted or needed. And it's like, you got to know the first time round, but there's something about just this combination of cards so far that kind of suggests to me that it may actually go through. Or if you've been knocked back for something, this would be a good month to appeal, especially here in the first week of the month. For your second week of November, you've got the Hierophant card. So you've got a double hit of the Hierophant card energy, and it's right underneath the Four of Wands. There's definitely promotion energy in the air for all of you. There's definitely some sort of boost or blessing to the finances this month as well, which comes up. I really, really as well, I like that Hierophant card for the second week, because again, it's like you're interacting with someone or something bigger than yourself, and there's a sense here that whatever you were told no with previously, now you might get the go ahead. For your third week of the month, look at this, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. There is a reversal of fortune in some way, shape or form this week. There's, you know, all of that good stuff. Now, because you've got the Wheel of Fortune underneath the Hierophant card, this may very well be either, for some of you, it will be an invite. Actually, for some of you, it could be an insight. It's like you're in the right place at the right time to hear the right conversations. It's like you're getting, maybe, you know, your boss says to you, actually, we need to send you to a different site. You get there and find out that they're hiring for your dream job. You know, there could be some really crazy twists of fate around this third week of the month. And my best advice to you would be to go with it, right? You might have one of those, kind of like one of those moments. I think I saw this on a TV show or a film. There was someone stood in a line for like this really exclusive club, and they were just on their own, and like they were letting in this group, and the people were at the front. And obviously this person knew the bouncer or whatever, and so they just get in, and this person kind of just snuck in behind them. It could be one of those moments as well, where maybe you find yourself in the wrong place, but at the right time. Do you know what I mean? So just be aware that that is a possibility. And then for your fourth week of the month, you've got the Death card. All right, so not the easiest of energies, have to say. A few ways that this could play out for you though. So for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, one of the ways that Death card and so both of these cards rule Scorpio energy, and I find this very interesting because we're in Scorpio season, right? And well, as we get into the end of November, actually, we're going to be in Sag season, right? So, one of the ways that I feel like this might show up for you guys, I wouldn't say this is the end of a relationship. I would say that this is the end of the current era of a relationship. So for some of you, this could be that your relationship now either needs to change or evolve in some way in order for it to survive. For some of you, like I said, maybe getting back to that honeymoon period, or maybe coming out of the honeymoon period. You know, once everything settles in and real life sets in, and you realize that actually this person's got habits that are going to bug the shit out of me, or you know what, maybe I've got habits that are going to bug the shit out of them, right? Once all of that kind of dust settles, you have that moment, right, where you kind of like, ooh, have I done the right thing? And maybe this is that for some of you. For those of you that are single, This kind of suggests that whoever you're reconnecting with, it may not necessarily be for good. It could just be a transient thing where it's like, okay, we got together, there was reminiscing, there was nostalgia, it felt good in the moment, but actually we shouldn't rekindle this because there's a reason that we came to an end. Try to be conscious around this sort of stuff around that last week of the month. For your new moon message from the gate, you have the gate 22 and Grace. Love this for you actually. So the new moon in the sign of Scorpio is going to be a powerful deal for you, and I think this is because it's going to reveal to you what you really want, what you really want to do, and ultimately what true connection, partnership, sexuality, sensuality, what that actually looks like, and more importantly feels like to you at this moment in time. It could also be a time where a creative idea or endeavor comes to you just kind of out of the blue, and if that is the case, run with it. And then finally, for your full moon, which is going to be an eclipse, by the way, you have the gate 23 and assimilate. Right now, here's where this gets interesting. Look at this. You've got a run of cards. So you've got the gate 22 and 23. That eclipse that's taking place on, I think it's around the 19th of November, it's going to be a big deal because it's the first one in the Taurus energy. And this is, you know, it's a huge deal actually. So the full moon is trying to highlight to you where whatever your goals and your dreams are for the future, it's like there could be a step that shows up now to show you how that's going to be possible. I'm going to be really honest with you. It may not necessarily be easy. It could be this, wow, you know what? I've had this idea for a multi-million pound or $1 million company, and now I have to build that. Shit. Right? So I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, it'll be wonder and light, because it may not be, right? You might realize that you've now got this big, wonderful dream that's come to you here around the new moon. And this full moon is basically saying, right, and now, you know, this is what you want to build. These are going to be the steps. So there is a sense of you're needing to tap into that thing that you are known for, bravery. All right. So this could be really nice. I think that eclipse is going to be quite friendly with you in a lot of ways. And remember, especially if you're an ascendant Aries, this is in your second house. This is all to do with your money, right? So it's interesting that your finance sector looks pretty good this month. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Don't forget to get your 2022 tarot scopes. There'll be a link somewhere and one in the description. All right, take care, and I'll see you soon.